So good morning. We're going to do iris now, this time. So just to show you, basically we're trying to do some picture like this with the flowers of the iris, which for our purposes we can just consider the flower to be consisting of three different petals, three kind of hanging downwards, and then three little tiny petals sticking out. So just think of it in those terms, threes and threes up here. And then there is something near the center of the flower that gives us a slightly different color. So the color that we'll be using will be a blue and a yellow for the center of the flower, and then a green for the stem of the flower, and then the leaves as well. So another thing I want to point out is that the iris tends to have these veins on the petals. So the veins there's a main vein, and then there's these veins that kind of radiates out from the center of the flower. So by putting in these veins selectively, then we could reinforce the shape of the petal. The petals basically could be pointing in different directions, or you could be looking at it on the side, or maybe looking at it face on. So by veining it appropriately, you could help out the shape of the flower. Okay, so that's that. We're going to use you need a soft brush like this for the flower, another brush for the leaves and the stems, and then another brush for the veining of the petals, so put in the veins. Okay, so you're going to use a blue and some green like this, and yellow. Okay, so let's start out by just spreading out the color. So the brush is typically basically clean on the base, and then at the tip is where the color is, right? So we're using the entire brush like this. So one brush stroke, you get a darker color on this side and lighter on this side. So and then another stroke would be on this side, like that, and this one like that, and then followed by a few dabs, 3 of these, and then you can use the yellow. Actually, I need another brush for the yellow, so here it is, another brush for the yellow, and then we put in the yellow while it is still wet, like that. Okay, then we're ready to go, and then we can also then vein in the leaves. So this green plus a little, you can dab it into a little blue. Then you would then you imagine that, let's say this is shooting out, so it's a couple of dabs here, and then this thing comes out of there like that. Then the leaves. What is this? Basically the green, and then the tip I put into the blue. So you get this kind of shading of blue and green, like that, and that gives you the idea of the flower, of the leaves. Okay. Now the other thing that we can do is these buds, the flowering buds. You can just jab them like this, so you get a pointy shape, like that, with the dark color on the top and then less color on the bottom. Again, same kind of deal here, a couple of stabs, and then these are then connected to the rest of the plant, which would be basically a bunch of leaves. Alright, so that's you're almost done, and at this point then you can use another brush that will take care of the veining of the leaves. So the flowers are still wet, the petals are still wet, so you have to make sure this brush is quite dry by blotting out the moisture from the base of the brush. And then the tip of the brush, we take color, intense color, just take it straight from the intense color, and then you will try to draw the veins. Okay, so the veins, you can start from the, so I imagine this petals to be kind of curved like this. So you just have a one stroke like this, and then the other stroke is also radiating out, another one like this, another one like that, and then it kind of it goes like this, curved this way because it's this way. Alright, so and then let's check out this other one, which will be another vein here. Okay, it doesn't show because I didn't take enough color, so this brush is a little too dry, so let me put a little bit of moisture in there, and then we can just have a vein like that, and then a couple more veins like this. Okay, don't get too hung up with the veins. All you need is one or two, and the rest can be dots as well. You know, it works quite well with as dots also. Okay, so that's took care of that one very nicely. And then this you don't have to do anything, but I say you can also put color at the tip to make it look like the flower, like that. We turn this way, and then you can take a look at this, and then at the proper angle. And okay, so let's do. The other thing that we do a few more these flowers then, so you can see what's going on. So let's see. Let me so you can see what I'm taking. I'm taking color, light color here, and then an intense color from there. You kind of have to put it on the plate a little bit so that the color gets dispersed. You don't want this many streaks, right? So let's say here again. So it's going around the circle. The brush is in this direction. Orientation of the brush, but you kind of going around in a circle like this. But you press down hard and then you lift up, right? So you press down hard, you lift up like that. So you get this kind of trapezoidal shape. But now, let's see, this one I don't want to be looking exactly like that, so let's say I have a much wider thing here, and then now this one is a little more thin. So wider, broader, and thinner here. And then a few more jabs to, 3 jabs to take care of the rest of it. The jabs, you want to make sure they don't line up or do something, you know, regular. So typically you put 2 closer together and the third one further out, and they don't line up in any fashion here. And now you're ready for the yellow. So yellow, you dab it in here, a few dabs, and then the leaves, stems, and so on. So this is this here, green. Jab it into a little blue. So it's too wet, right? No, so dry it off a bit, and then that's like that. And the rest are leaves. Just press, go. So willy-nilly like this. So there's a bunch of leaves growing straight out of this guy. So then right now I can then put them all together in some manner like this. And then maybe another flower over here. Okay, another flower like that. And then now this one is like this, like that. And then some jabs up on top here. And then the yellow. And then the veins. So now you're ready for the veins, I guess. Okay, let's go here again. Brush. Take heavy color. Now this one you have to try to. Let's just do this one first. So there's one stroke here, and then the rest kind of so like that. That one also like that, and then this one maybe, yeah, again maybe this one like that here. Doesn't really have to show too clearly. It's just a few dots. Sometimes we do the job. And then this one again, veins. And then veins again here. Okay, so that's that. And then we can use again, connect it to the green and a little bit of blue. So this guy, maybe the base is not visible, so just a line like this to connect it to the base, and then maybe a couple bigger leaves. So the leaves in, it's okay to have these streaks, right? Because you can, the leaves are gonna have some veins and stuff like that, and that's okay. So we just have very free, and then now I can just get some black also. And then to balance out the picture, I will add a few more, maybe so a jab like that. So a couple of those, and then the green and the blue. And then just a couple of lines to connect it to the. Okay, that's kind of disaster. Okay, there, like that. And then just another big leaf here. Yeah, so let me, yep, okay, so let me turn the picture a bit so you can see approximately what it is showing here, like this. Maybe a little brighter so you can see better. So yep, there it is. And so let's say we want to finish this off completely, then I would just grab some blue, try to just fill out some of these space here. So let's see, sometimes just big drops of water are very wet, will work wonders, like that. So you can see, I can see that, and then you may perhaps use some ink to finish the job. So the ink would take some pretty very black ink here. And then kind of add some accent, I guess is what we're trying to do, some accent. And I think that's it. Okay. Hope this is helpful.